Welcome, friends. It's a joy to have you here with us today. Whether you're joining us from near or far, we are united in this moment, sharing a common purpose and a common hope. It's good to be with you today. In our fast-paced world, moments like these, where we can come together and connect, are truly precious. We often get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, but it's important to take a step back and appreciate the simple joys of companionship and community. You know, in a world that's often filled with so much noise and uncertainty, we all long for a path that leads to genuine peace and fulfillment. The constant demands and pressures can leave us feeling overwhelmed and disconnected. But amidst the chaos, there is a way to find tranquility and purpose. And I believe that path is found in the teachings of Jesus Christ. His words offer us guidance and wisdom, providing a beacon of light in the darkest of times. Through his teachings, we can discover a deeper sense of meaning and direction in our lives. He showed us the way, not just through his words, but through his very life. Jesus lived a life of love, compassion, and selflessness. He reached out to those in need, offering hope and healing. His actions spoke volumes, demonstrating the power of living a life rooted in love and service. He lived with such love, such compassion, such grace. His example is a powerful reminder that we too can make a difference in the lives of others. By showing kindness and empathy, we can create a ripple effect of positivity and change. And the beautiful thing is, his example is something we can all follow no matter who we are or where we've been. It doesn't matter what our past looks like or the mistakes we've made. We all have the capacity to embody the love and grace that Jesus demonstrated. In this video, we're going to explore 5 practical ways we can live like Jesus in our modern world. These principles are not just abstract concepts, but actionable steps that we can incorporate into our daily lives. By doing so, we can bring about positive change in our communities and beyond. These aren't just lofty ideals, but tangible steps we can take each and every day to make his love a reality in our lives and the lives of those around us. From simple acts of kindness to more significant efforts of service, every action counts. Together, we can create a world that reflects the love and compassion of Jesus. So if you're ready to experience the joy and peace that comes from walking in the footsteps of Jesus, let's dive in together. Let's embark on this journey of transformation and growth, supporting one another along the way. Together, we can make a difference and spread the message of love and hope to all corners of the world. Our first way to live like Jesus is perhaps his most central command: love others unconditionally. This command is not just a suggestion or a nice idea, it is the very essence of what it means to follow Jesus. When we talk about loving others unconditionally, we are talking about a love that transcends circumstances, a love that is not dependent on how others treat us or what they can do for us. It is a love that mirrors the love Jesus has for each one of us. Jesus tells us in the Gospel of John, "Love one another." This is not a new command, but it is one that Jesus emphasized repeatedly because of its importance. In a world that often seems divided and filled with conflict, this command is more relevant than ever. It calls us to rise above our differences and to see each other through the eyes of love. "As I have loved you, so you must love one another." John 13:34. This verse is a powerful reminder that our love for others should reflect the love Jesus has for us. His love is sacrificial, selfless, and unconditional. It is a love that led him to lay down his life for us, and it is the same kind of love we are called to show to others. Now, this love isn't just a feeling, it's an action. It's easy to say we love others, but true love is demonstrated through our actions. It means going out of our way to help those in need, offering a listening ear to someone who is hurting, and being there for others even when it is inconvenient. It is about putting others' needs before our own and showing kindness and compassion in tangible ways. It's a choice we make every day to see the best in others, even when they don't make it easy. Loving unconditionally means looking beyond people's flaws and imperfections and seeing them as God sees them. It means choosing to believe in their potential and offering them grace and forgiveness, just as God has done for us. You see, God's love for us is unconditional. It is not based on our performance or our ability to earn his favor. He loves us simply because we are his creation, and nothing we do can change that. This is the kind of love that we are called to extend to others. He loves us not because we're perfect, but because we are His children. This is a profound truth that should shape the way we view ourselves and others. We are all valuable and worthy of love, not because of what we do, but because of who we are in God's eyes. And in the same way, we're called to love others, not based on what they do for us, but simply because they are fellow human beings created in God's image. This means loving people who are different from us, who may have different beliefs, backgrounds, or lifestyles. It means reaching out to those who are marginalized or overlooked and showing them that they are valued and loved. Think about it, friends. How different would our world be if we all made a conscious effort to love unconditionally? Imagine a world where people are quick to forgive, slow to judge, and eager to help one another. A world where kindness and compassion are the norm rather than the exception. This is the kind of world that Jesus envisioned, and it is the kind of world we can help create by living out His command to love others unconditionally. If we extended grace freely, just as God extends grace to us, grace is unmerited favor, and it is something that we all need. When we extend grace to others, we are reflecting the heart of God and showing them a glimpse of His love. It means giving people the benefit of the doubt, offering second chances, and being willing to forgive even when it is difficult. If we chose forgiveness over anger, kindness over judgment, these choices are not always easy, but they are powerful. Forgiveness frees us from the burden of bitterness and allows us to move forward in peace. Kindness breaks down barriers and opens the door to meaningful connections. When we choose to respond with love, we are making a positive impact on the world around us. That's the kind of love Jesus modeled for us. His love was radical and transformative. It reached out to the outcasts, the sinners, and the brokenhearted. It brought healing, hope, and restoration. This is the love that we are called to emulate in our own lives. A love that's patient and kind. A love that takes the time to listen and understand. Patience means being willing to wait and not giving up on people, even when they make mistakes. Kindness means showing gentleness and care in our words and actions. These qualities are the foundation of true, unconditional love. A love that never gives up. A love that perseveres through challenges and hardships. This kind of love is resilient and steadfast. It doesn't waver in the face of difficulties, but remains strong and committed. It is a love that stands by others, offering support and encouragement, no matter what. A love that believes the best in others, even when they don't believe in themselves. This means seeing the potential in people and encouraging them to be their best selves. It means offering words of affirmation and support, helping others to see their own worth and value. When we believe in others, we inspire them to believe in themselves and to reach for their highest potential. Next, we can live like Jesus by focusing on serving the poor and vulnerable. This is not just a call to action, but a way of life that embodies the very essence of His teachings. When we look at the life of Jesus, we see a consistent pattern of reaching out to those who were marginalized, those who were often forgotten by society. His heart was always inclined towards the poor, the sick, and the vulnerable. This was a major part of Jesus' mission. He healed the sick, fed the hungry, and brought hope to those who had none. His actions were not just miracles, they were messages of love and compassion. When He fed the 5,000 with just 5 loaves and 2 fish, it wasn't just about the food. It was about showing that in God's kingdom, there is always enough. There is always provision for those in need. Jesus spent time with those who were often overlooked by society. He dined with tax collectors, spoke with Samaritans, and touched lepers. These were people who were shunned and despised, yet Jesus saw their worth. He saw their humanity. He saw their need for love and acceptance. By spending time with them, He showed us that no one is beyond the reach of God's love. In Matthew 25:40, He reminds us, "Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." This verse is a powerful reminder that our actions towards others are a direct reflection of our love for Jesus. When we serve the least among us, we are serving Him. This is not just a metaphor, it is a spiritual truth that calls us to see Jesus in every person we meet. These words are so powerful, friends. because they remind us that when we serve those in need, we're not just doing a good deed, we're serving Jesus himself. Every act of kindness, every gesture of compassion, every effort to uplift the downtrodden is a way of showing our love for God. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life and forget this simple truth. But when we take the time to serve others, we are reminded of what truly matters. Every effort to uplift the downtrodden is a way of showing our love for God. It's in these moments of service that we find our true purpose. We are called to be the hands and feet of Jesus, to bring his love and light into the darkest corners of the world. Whether it's building homes for the homeless, serving meals at a food bank, or simply offering a listening ear to someone in distress, every act of service is a testament to our faith. You see, God has a special place in his heart for the poor and vulnerable. He sees their pain, he hears their cries, and he calls us to be his hands and feet, extending his love and care to those who need it most. This is not just a duty, it is a privilege. It is an opportunity to be a part of something greater than ourselves. When we serve others, we are participating in God's redemptive work in the world. He calls us to be his hands and feet, extending his love and care to those who need it most. This means stepping out of our comfort zones and reaching out to those who are hurting. It means being present in times of crisis, offering a helping hand and a word of encouragement. It means being a source of hope and healing in a world that is often filled with pain and suffering. So let's open our hearts to the needs around us. Let's be attentive to the cries of the poor and the vulnerable. Let's be willing to step in and make a difference, no matter how small it may seem. Every act of kindness, every gesture of love has the power to transform lives. It has the power to bring hope to the hopeless and light to the darkness. Let's look for opportunities to make a difference in the lives of those who are struggling. This could be through volunteering at a local shelter, donating to a charity, or simply offering a kind word to someone in need. The opportunities are endless, and the impact is immeasurable. When we come together as a community to serve others, we create a ripple effect of love and compassion that can change the world. It doesn't have to be something grand or extraordinary. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can have the greatest impact. A smile, a hug, a listening ear. These simple gestures can make a world of difference to someone who is struggling. So let's commit to living a life of service, following in the footsteps of Jesus, and making a difference in the lives of those around us. Together, we can create a world where everyone is seen, heard, and loved. You know, friends, forgiveness is a powerful force. It's not always easy. In fact, it can be one of the hardest things we're ever called to do. But holding on to anger and resentment, that's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. It only hurts us in the end. When we forgive, we release ourselves from that burden. We open our hearts to healing and peace, and we create space for God's love to flow through us. Remember, forgiveness is a choice. It's a decision we make to let go of the pain of the past and move forward in freedom. You know, friends, it's easy to get caught up in our own lives, our own ambitions, our own desires and dreams. We live in a world that constantly tells us to strive for more, to put ourselves first. But Jesus, he showed us a different way, a path of humility. He was born in a humble manger, the King of Kings laid in a feeding trough for animals. Can you imagine that kind of humility and grace? He didn't come demanding a palace, demanding to be served. He came as a servant, showing us the true meaning of love, ready to give his life for us all. Imagine, if you will, a direct line to the most powerful being in the universe, a loving Father who wants to hear from you, who wants to guide you, who wants to pour out his blessings upon you. That, my friends, is the power of prayer. It's not about reciting empty words or trying to convince God to do what we want. It's about opening our hearts to him, sharing our joys and burdens, and seeking his will for our lives. In the Gospels, we see Jesus, the Son of God, constantly seeking his Father in prayer. He would wake up early before the sun rose to spend time in communion with God. He knew the importance of staying connected to the source of his strength, especially during challenging times. So, there you have it. 5 ways to live like Jesus in modern times, loving others unconditionally, serving the poor, practicing forgiveness, living humbly, and cultivating a life of prayer. I hope these steps inspire you to grow closer to Christ and reflect His love to the world around you. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this. And remember, Jesus is always with you, guiding you every step of the way. God bless and see you in the next video.